Worry, be happy. Ain't got no place to lay your head. Somebody came and took your bed, but don't worry. Be happy. The landlord said your rent was late, and he may have to litigate, but don't worry. Be happy.
Look at me, I'm happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Here, I gave my number. Can you worry? Call me. I'll make you happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy.
Ain't got no cash, ain't got no style, ain't got no gal to make you smile. Don't worry.
Me Talk Pretty One Day is a memoir of David Sedaris' dysfunctional family and his hectic life. He manages to tell random stories but makes them humorous so they are fun to read. These stories include the time he spent being a boring writing teacher with students that didn't give him the respect he was looking for, a surprise he found in the toilet at a friend's house that he ended up having to cover up so people didn't think it was his, the many pets his parents had and treated like children, and the time he spent in the beautiful Paris, France. Every single one of David Sedaris' random stories are capable of being relatable to many people. Like many people today, David Sedaris had a low point in his life where he was addicted to drugs. He later redeemed himself by graduating from the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, where he later became very successful. One thing many parents may relate to is that when the second child comes around, the parenting styles become a lot more relaxed. The parenting styles may have gone from get your elbows off the table to don't do a belly flop on the table. He then tells a story about his youngest brother, Rooster, who may not have gotten the discipline he needed. In the book Me Talk Pretty One Day, David Sedaris tells some of the craziest and funniest stories that would make anyone think, how on earth does that happen? My favorite stories of the time, David worked with a cheap book publisher named Valencia, where he didn't even get paid much, but Valencia worked with people who David referred to as deadbeats, and they wrote poetry. One day, Valencia saw a sign that a rare African gray parrot had escaped from an exotic bird shop, and the reward to find it was $750. Because Valencia was so cheap, she wanted to find the bird and split the cash with David. She later saw a pigeon out the window, thinking it was the bird named Cheeky, and tried to get David to open the door and let the bird in. When David failed many times, without even really trying, she was mad, and he didn't have his job for long after that. When Valencia was moving homes, David offered to help the worker move the stuff because it was too much for one person to handle. At the end of the day, the worker asked David if he would like a job to work with him, and David gladly took it since he wasn't going to be working with Valencia for much longer. Luckily, the money was way better than what Valencia paid. I learned that even though you have your low points, you could still end up being very successful, just like him being a #1 national best-selling author. Me Talk Pretty One Day is a hilarious and witty book that is capable of making anyone laugh, and it was very enjoyable to read. David Sedaris wrote this book to share the crazy experiences he had been through, so I highly recommend it to anyone looking for a light read, because it was a fantastic book.